Welcome to Front Porch Stories, presented by Craig Messer. Back in the hills, down winding roads, and tucked between ridges, there are small towns and quiet hollers where stories live through the people who've called Appalachia home for generations. Around here, history isn't just written in books, it's shared on front porches, at kitchen tables, and in the voices of the folks who've lived it. On this show, we sit down with some of those voices and we hear their memories, the legends, the hard times, the good times, and everything in between. Now, welcome to our front porch. Grab a cold iced tea and let's settle in for another edition of Front Porch Stories. Here's your host, Craig Messer.
I am Craig Messer, and this is my podcast. We are joined today by a good friend of mine who is from a small town, and I think he has pretty cool big stories. He is coming to us live from Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is Mr. David Stiles.
Hey, Craig, how you doing? Glad to be
Good.
on the show. Thanks for having me. Like you said, we're right here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, just a little bit north of the start-finish line, right before turns 1 and 2. That's where my office is.
It's a pretty cool spot, right?
Yeah, well, my window looks out on the parking lot, so
Oh, you don't have the view, huh?
no,
Don't have the
no
view.
view.
Before we get started too much, I want to say, Mr. Pibb Zero,
There you
not a
go.
sponsor yet, but one day. I just had to throw that in. I had it sitting here, so I'm going to drink on that here in a minute. When you hear that pop, don't run if you're listening. So, David, tell us a little bit about. So you work now for the radio broadcast team, correct?
Correct, yep.
So could you give us a little insight into that?
Sure. So I work for one of two networks that cover racing on the radio at NASCAR's top 3 premier series. So I work for the Performance Racing Network. The other entity is the Motor Racing Network, and they are owned by NASCAR. My company is owned by Speedway Motorsports, which, if you're familiar with the sport of NASCAR, that is the Smith family. So Bruton Smith was the founder of Speedway Motorsports. He also owns all the Sonic Automotive dealerships. So if you like buying cars in the Charlotte area, you can go to Town and Country and pick you up a Toyota or a Ford of some nature at one of those great facilities. And he also built Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he owns a number of tracks. His son runs it. His name is Marcus Smith, and that includes Charlotte, Bristol, New Hampshire, Texas. We work at COTA. We also have done races at Kentucky and Las Vegas and Sonoma. So we have a very wide footprint, and it's a really cool job. I get to see drivers. A lot of the times, the first time that I was working with PRN, I almost ran into Carl Edwards. If you know who that is, used to drive for Jack Roush, 99 car. He's a very big man. That's very strange for a race car driver. Usually they're very petite individuals, but Carl Edwards, he's a big fella. And so that was my first kind of initiation into working in media on the NASCAR sports side. Was about smacked into him coming around a corner in media day back in 2015. So I've been with PRN for upwards of 10 years, and this is my 11th race season that I've covered with them. And I do a whole bunch of different things for our network. I do traffic, which is basically the short term for what you hear on the radio when you hear spots or you're watching TV and you see a commercial. So I'm over all of those commercials. I also host a couple of different shows with PRN. One of them is a daily show called Garage Pass that can be heard on over 230 terrestrial stations across the country and on Sirius XM. And then we've got an online show that's about betting. So I know that being from Western North Carolina, everyone knows about Harris Cherokee Casino. They have a sports book. I don't know if they cover NASCAR or not, but we like to put people on sharp bets so you can have a little bit of fun watching the race so that you're just not locked into your one single driver every week. And you may make a little bit of money if you listen to our show. I'm currently down in my bankroll, but I've won 7 bets this year so far in my Monopoly money. So it's a lot of fun, and it just gives you another wrinkle into watching live sports, which I think is the best form of reality television there is. All this other stuff that we see, like the Kardashians and Duck Dynasty and all of that, it's scripted.
What do
Sports,
you have? What do you have against the Beard Men?
nothing. I
They're
like Duck
back.
Dynasty just
They're on like
fine.
season 2 of the revival.
I know it's a good show. I've watched it. It's just you could tell
Yeah,
that
a little
it's
scripted, right?
scripted. It's a
Yeah.
little bit scripted. Sports, not so much.
Are we
Hard.
sure? Are we sure sports isn't scripted? Some David.
Okay. So everyone's talking about this conspiracy theory right now with NASCAR because 2311, who sued NASCAR in the off season, they won 3 out of the 4 races.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that. You're bringing
Yeah,
you're
but
bringing light to me.
people are in a big conspiracy about that. You can't fix racing. You've got 36 cars on track every week. You can keep secrets between 2 people. You can't keep secrets between 50 plus. Like, it's just not going to happen.
That's a big thing to me. It's like, like the NFL. We both enjoy the NFL. We both enjoy the Carolina Panthers, and I sometimes say, kind of tongue in cheek, "Oh, the NFL's rigged." Now, there are moments where I've been like, "This is rigged."
Yeah.
Like, this
Yeah.
is rigged. But if you really think about it, everybody has to be involved. If they're going to flat out rig a ball game in any sport or a race, everybody's involved from the top to the bottom. And to keep, like you said, if I tell you something, maybe not me telling you, but say I'm in my work office and you're in your work office, and I tell somebody something in confidence, a lot of times it's going to get back to you from somebody else.
Yeah.
So how are you keeping that many people quiet?
You can't do it.
I don't see how that, at least a leak,
Well,
it's just not.
And the other part of this too is you're dealing with race cars. If something breaks,
Yeah.
it breaks. Like, it's not like they made it to break. These cars are inspected.
Right.
They're gone through, and it's just one of those things. It's very, very hard to fix a race. And so,
Right.
me, I don't think there's no way that it could be a conspiracy. I think it's just people grassy knolling it, and they're trying to have a little bit of fun.
Well, we could talk about the Kennedy stuff a little bit one day. I'm more into that than the other conspiracies. But anyway, so you brought up, what is it, 2311? I see. I'm not a big race guy, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know, is that Michael Jordan's?
It is. Michael Jordan backs that team monetarily. The guy running the operations as far as putting the drivers in the car, that is Denny Hamlin. So
really? Okay.
Yeah, he's also a driver. He drives for JGR. So they've seen a lot of success. Tyler Reddick, first driver in NASCAR's 78-year history to win the first 3 races of the season. So that's never happened before. Tyler Reddick cementing history this year here in 2026 with the first 3 wins of the year. So
see, I think it's just because Jordan's the GOAT. So everything he touches, except the Charlotte Bobcats, Hornets. But his racing team, man, he's got it down. He's got it down. Have you seen him around? Are those folks? I mean, they've not raced in Charlotte yet, so I don't guess he has a reason to be there. But do you think Jordan will be around when they do race in Charlotte?
So he was at the first 2 races of the season, and he was at Circuit of the Americas, and we were able to interview him a couple of times. So he's present.
He's present.
If they keep winning, I'm sure he'll keep showing up places, and that's good for the sport.
So if I come to the Charlotte race and I get down in the pit, do you think I'll get a glimpse of Michael Jordan?
If you want to come to Charlotte and hang out with me, and we'll go down to pit road, we'll do our best to try to see MJ.
I'm not joking you. I might come because I may not care that much about racing, but the opportunity to see Michael Jordan in person, even though I'm a Duke fan, I don't care. It's Michael Jordan. There's only so many people like that that's ever been in history.
He's probably better or worse. He's one of the most recognizable athletes on the face of the planet.
Yes.
And here's the thing about racing. If you come to one race, just come to one, you'll be hooked. You can watch it on TV. It doesn't do it justice until you put your cheeks in a seat and you watch them go around. Even if it's at a mile and a half, the mile and a half racing right now is really, really good. We're going to have 2 of those races here in Charlotte. So come on down. We'll put you in a seat, and you can bake out in the sun and not hear anything, and throw chicken bones down at the infield, down toward the infield inside retaining fence. It's a lot of fun.
There we go. I'll bake in the sun and hope I see Jordan and won't see him and leave unhappy, but no. Let's see. So this story, this podcast obviously is called Small Town Big Stories. So tell us a little bit about where you're from. Are you from a small town, David?
So me and my wife can test this all the time. She tells me she's from a small town. She grew up in Wingate, which is just a little bit south of Charlotte. It does have a small populace. Me, I spent the first 12 years of my life in a little town called Burnsville, North Carolina, which is over in Yancey County. It has 16,000 people in the whole county. So that's pretty small.
Oh,
I remember my third grade class, we had to be put into a fourth grade class because we didn't have enough students. There were 6 of us in the third grade, and the other 15 kids in the class were in the fourth grade. And so, yeah, growing up, it was 2 stoplights. We had a Burger King, a McDonald's, a Bilo, and an Ingles, and that was it. If you wanted to go to Walmart, you had to go to Spruce Pine.
yeah.
So that's how small it was. And then in the 7th grade, I moved to Haywood County, and I thought, man, we're moving up in the world. We're going to a big city. This is the big time. They got a
Big
movie
time.
theater and a Walmart. Like this is a big deal. But yeah, went to Bethel Middle School, played 3 sports there. Went to Pisgah High School, played football, basketball, and baseball for Pisgah. Saw them win a championship in basketball in 2005. I was on the team that went back to the state championship game in 2008, and we shot 1 for 16 in the first half and ended up losing to West Bladen. So that's kind of my claim to fame as far as Pisgah athletics go. We were 1 game shy of getting a ring. So
You got on the court, right?
For the championship game, no, didn't get on the court.
You got on the court. Did you get on the court in regionals?
I did. Got on the court in regionals, played at Joel Coliseum in Winston-Salem, got to look
That
up
place
and
is cool.
see the big Wake Forest sign underneath the scoreboard and the black and yellow tie-dye, which was pretty cool. So
yeah,
a lot of fun memories playing for Pisgah.
Yeah, so that led you into wanting to be a broadcaster, right?
Yeah, so it was really funny. So I didn't have any aspirations to go to like a big college. Like a lot of my family, they all went to Western. You can see I got my WCU stuff back there on my guitar case. I got Western. Here's a picture of the cat right here, old campus picture for Western Carolina, big Western Carolina guy. So I early enrolled when I was a senior and got in and said, you know what? My college scouting is done. I need to not worry about going on any more visits. I applied, I got in, and that's what I was going to do. And initially, I was a big CSI fan. I like to watch crime scene investigation. And I was like, that would be a cool job, like going out and solving crimes and, putting the puzzle pieces together. And I realized pretty quickly that I'm not real good at chemistry.
Yeah.
And if you're not good at science and biology, that's probably not the best line of work to go into.
Probably not. I guarantee you are better at science than I am, though.
I don't know.
I guarantee it.
But I realized pretty quick one summer we were, we would go camping out at Standing Indian, which is out in Macon County. And we would have something called the Standing Indian Olympics. And so we would all pair up. It was about 30 of us that would all go out there together between my mom's family and then some close family friends. And we would pair up and have like an Olympics, a competition. So we'd play cornhole and badminton and a whole bunch of other different camp games like ladder ball and that kind of stuff. And they would keep tallies. It was like the Olympics. You'd get points, and at the end of the series of games, they would tally it up and they'd have a winner, and you'd be crowned the Standing Indian Olympic gold medalist. And while we were doing that, I just kind of messing around started commentating on the games, and it just came very natural to me. And someone said, you know what, you should think about doing that. And so I went into Western, committed as a communications major. And the rest is kind of history. I started calling basketball games for WPTL in 2012. Got to cover the girls and the boys. Got to watch my brother hit a game-winning shot at West Henderson to win the conference championship and call it on the air. Probably one of the only times I've been completely speechless as my broadcast partner, Terry Shin, was losing his mind. And all I could say was, he hit it. He hit it.
He hit it.
It was a big moment for me because you don't get to see your brother hit a game winner very often. So
Right.
that was a pretty cool moment. And it was just really great to work with Terry Shin, and WPTL does a great job covering all those Pisgah athletics. And it holds a special spot to me because Bill Reck, who's passed away, and his daughter now runs the station, Terrell Reck, she does a great job. But working for Bill was just very, very important for me. And he really gave me my opportunity to learn and make mistakes. And Terry was a great guy to work with. He still calls some games in Haywood County. If you see the guy doing radio and he's got really long hair and he wears a earring and it's got a feather on it, that's Terry Shin. So he's a great guy. If you get the chance to meet him, he's just an easy guy to talk to, and he does a really good job with anything that he does. He covers a lot of different games from Haywood County all the way over to Madison County. So he's all the time covering stuff. But that's kind of how I got started in radio, and it's one of the highlights of my career so far. I mean, I still think about going down and covering the Sugar Bears in a regional game when they played at UNCG, and I think
a highlight of my
on this call was there with me when we did that, and I had to kind of wrangle them and say, "Hey, we shouldn't stand up and yell at the referees."
Yeah.
But
that was truly a highlight of my life. That was one of the coolest experiences that I'll ever have, and I'll talk about that forever because it was amazing. It was such a fun experience. They won, the second biggest game that they've ever won.
Yeah.
Because they've only been to state twice, won it once, lost it once. So that's the second biggest game. It was so fun. I loved it. Getting to ride down there with you and your dad, and Charlie, by the way, is David's father, and we'll get him on one day. And when we do, we'll probably have to break it into like 10 parts.
Yeah.
Because he has more stories than maybe any person alive. I'm not exaggerating. He's so fun. And his stories are just wild. So I'd love to have him on one day, but riding down there, listening to him, and then the call of the game, and then ride back, it was just awesome. So, very appreciative for that opportunity. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, so
as part of my makeup, I
Right.
want to afford people to have opportunities if they want to do things. And I remember getting that call from Bill, and he said, "Hey, we need someone to go down there." And I hadn't done a game for a couple of years. I'd kind of transitioned and was doing some different things. And Craig was the first person I called, and I said, "Hey, if you're going to go to the game, why not go for free and hang out with me?" And so
and go to the Salsarita burrito bar they had for all the media.
Yeah,
that was okay too.
Yeah, the cool thing about that experience in covering high school sports, you don't get this a lot because you have to kind of keep your own stats. And so we went down there and had all these things to keep stats with, and Craig had his stuff lined up, and we got our stuff set up. We tested with Tim Hodges back at WPTL, and then after the quarter was over, this little runner guy came by, slid me a sheet of paper, and I was like, "What's this?" Started looking at it. It had all the stats. I said, "Craig, don't even worry about the book. Put that back in the backpack.
Nice.
We're good to go. We'll keep track of what we need to keep track of, and this little guy here is going to bring us some stats, and we'll be good to go." And so that's a treat when that happens for you, especially at the high school level. So,
and I believe I kept those. I'm pretty sure
kept all of it.
I think I've got them somewhere. I know I've got my name badge that I put my name on, but even though I told them, shout out Matt Delosier, I think I was Matt Delosier for the day, because he was on their list for WPTL. So
we walked in and I said, "All right, don't say anything. I'm going to do all the talking." And
I didn't know none of this part till we got there. He said, "Who were you or David?" Right? You were on the list.
I was on the list.
Yeah, you were on the list, and it's like, I'm David, and this is Matt Delosier.
This is me. This is Matt Delosier, and this here my other guy. This year,
and I don't know who your dad was. He was somebody. Somebody else. That was funny.
But no, again, that's one of the coolest moments that I've had covering sports. Other than I also do some play-by-play for Mooresville football, and they went pretty deep in the playoffs the past couple of seasons. I do that for Harold Hamrick on WHIP there in Mooresville, and To me, it's just telling the story. I mean, I want to transport people to those game sites and allow you to follow the teams that you love. And
Yeah.
so that's to me, that's the biggest part of broadcasting in general is just allowing the fans to feel close to the product and transport you from your garage or your car or your boat or wherever you're listening to that place. And
Yeah.
hopefully you have a little bit of fun and we can hang out for a couple hours and you get to cheer your team on and see them win. That's what it's about. So that's why I like broadcasting, and that's my mentor Doug Rice. That's kind of why he does it too, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to tell the stories.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So tell the folks where they can, is there somewhere they can go and hear you now with
Sure.
your,
So if you go on the GoPRN website and you tab over to shows and go down to Garage Pass, you can hear me week daily on there. I do a couple of shows a week, and then my partner Andrew Kurland, he'll do the others, and you'll hear a mix of us. So you can listen to both of us on there. And then if you're interested in Racers Odds, you don't have to bet. You can just go and listen to Racers Odds. That's on the Performance Racing Network YouTube page. So you can go on YouTube and type in Performance Racing Network, and you can listen to Racers Odds there every time that there's a race weekend. So we do those. I just filmed it today as we're recording this, and so that
you record those for every race.
yeah. So we recorded it. Today's Wednesday, the day that we're recording this. So I record those on Wednesday, and then we have them up usually by Thursday of every week, and you can go on there and find them. And then I sometimes make some guest appearances on Fast Talk, which is our Monday show, and that's streamed across a couple of different platforms with Performance Racing Network. But
For you guys to check him out, I'm sure he would love it.
I
Go on
would.
there. Give him a, can you, I guess you can get reviews and likes and comments on all that, right?
Yeah, so the Racers Odds thing, if you'll go and subscribe and like, comment, that would help the show out immensely. We're working on getting it put out on major podcast platforms, so that's in the works. It's kind of a resurrection of a show that we did a couple years ago. So hopefully it'll start trending in the right direction. We can get some money on it. So
Okay, well, that'd be good. Also, like and subscribe to this podcast.
yeah,
So we'd love to have you. Give us a 5-star review if you're listening on Apple. Apple is, obviously I'm on a Mac. So I like Apple a little bit. So give us that 5-star review if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, I don't know, any of them. Give us a good review and like and subscribe. Go to our TikToks. I'm on there. You can find me. I'll put a link to all that good stuff. David's got a TikTok. He makes some fun cooking videos sometimes. So you can follow him on there. I'll give you that link. And I think we're gonna have to. Oh, what am I thinking, David? If you were gonna move back to Western North Carolina, who would you use to buy a house?
well, I would go to Better Homes and Garden Real Estate Heritage, and I would ask for Craig Messer. So
That's right.
we could, do a little business there together. Craig will put you on to those beautiful properties if you're looking for anywhere in Western North Carolina with, back 40 or some water features or trees. I'm sure he can find you something
Trees.
that'll
Find you some properties with trees for sure.
yeah, tickle
And
your
mountains
fancy.
and rocks.
So, down here where I'm at, it's development, development, development. There's no more land. We need people to stop moving down here. Go move where Craig is and buy a house from him.
But guess what? We have development too, if you like that. So
Yeah.
we got it all. We got you covered. So thanks, David. I mean, I never even asked you to say that about me, but I appreciate the nice plug there for me. I really appreciate that. We're going to wrap this one up, but I've got so many more things I want to talk with David about. So you will be seeing him again later. But every guest has 3 questions they have to answer. And of course, David has to do that before we get off here. Number 1, David, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, favorite movie. That's hard because I like movies. I'm gonna say Return of the King, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
It's almost either that or Empire Strikes Back. Those 2 movies are almost perfect.
Fair. That's fair. Okay. Who is your favorite singer of all time?
Favorite singer.
There's only one answer.
I'm gonna say, well, your right answer is Elvis, but I'm gonna go with someone that I think he's probably one of the greatest guitar players we've ever seen. He's from Arkansas, Good old Glenn Campbell.
Yeah, that's your daddy. No,
Yeah, I like Glenn Campbell.
he does look like your dad a little bit.
A
There is a
little bit.
resemblance.
Yeah, he looks like dad a little bit. Flat out can play the guitar. If you go and look up on YouTube and watch him, they had a session where there's a bunch of different country artists all together, and they asked him to play "Gentle on My Mind," and he plays that thing just by himself, and he goes into a guitar riff, and I'm like, okay, like
He's good.
that's the guy. He's also a movie star. He was in True Grit, so
Yeah,
there
yeah,
you
he
go, Glenn
was.
Campbell.
I fun fact met his daughter. She's
Really?
also an artist. Doug Chambers, who me and you both know. He'll probably be on here one day if I can get him on here. We had been working in a garden. I'd been planting my garden, and we went to Wendy's for lunch. And we got in there, and I saw this girl and these two guys come in, and they, you can see people, and you can think what is their story,
Yeah.
And I got to looking at her, and I said, I know who that is. That is Ashley Campbell. And Doug's like, who? And I said, it's Glenn Campbell's daughter. And she sings and tours. And so I don't care to talk to anybody. And I said, are you Glenn Campbell's daughter? Are you Ashley? She said, yeah, I am. So we talked for a minute, and they had a show that night, I think in Morganton. And they were driving through just off the interstate, grabbed them something to eat, and heading on down. So that was pretty cool. So our
That is
last
pretty cool.
question. Favorite TV show of all time.
Oh, I'm going to turn something on and watch it. I like Andy Griffith.
That's fair.
I'm a
The
big
older I
Andy Griffith
get,
fan.
Andy Griffith as a kid was I loved Andy Griffith. I watched it all the time.
I remember being little and we would watch up and wait and eat a bowl of cereal and watch Scooby Doo. And then Andy
Yeah.
Griffith would come on, and then Gilligan's Island would come on right after that.
Yeah.
So
My
I
favorite. Do you
like
know what
Andy
mine
Griffith.
is? My favorite TV show?
Shoot, I bet I do know off the top. I know it somewhere in my head. It's Seinfeld. Yeah.
I needed maybe a top show of all time is just too hard. I mean, that's top five probably for sure. But Home Improvement is my favorite show of all
That's
time.
right.
And I rewatched it. I've rewatched it 1,000 times, but I rewatched it again recently, and I was a little sad because I was like, I don't know if it's my favorite show anymore. But I can't let it go because there's so like I was a kid and it was the greatest show on
Oh
earth
yeah.
when I was a kid. So I'm gonna have to just keep it there because just the sheer nostalgia factor. But Andy Griffith as well, like Andy Griffith, we'd go to my grandparents and they had like 4 channels. Well, whatever played Andy Griffith was on. So
Yeah.
we would watch Andy Griffith every time it would come on.
There's something about black and white television
Yeah,
too that it's good, and his
yeah, it
show
is.
was good.
And
I
it's
mean,
funny. Like
yeah,
it holds up.
it holds
It's
up.
not like it is. See, I Love Lucy. I'm not a fan. I just don't like it.
It's okay. Like
But
my
Andy
grandmother would watch
Griffith
it,
can make
but
me laugh. It's funny. And Barney's just probably the greatest TV character of all time.
Don Knotts, he's a comedic genius, and there's if you're like me, I got young kids, and so we have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You can go on Disney Plus, go watch Apple Dumpling Gang.
Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yeah. There's a scene in there with him and Tim Conway where they're trying to rob the guy, and he comes up to him and Tim Conway spits some line and says, I'll just jump off the roof and just grab him and then pull my pistol out and say, give me your money. And Don Knotts' character looks at him and he goes, did the Lord joggle your brains in with a teaspoon? You don't have any powder or bullets. And he goes, yeah, I forgot about that. And it's hilarious. Like, it's just so funny because it's like Don Knotts is the only one that can deliver that line and make it hilarious. And he's just one of the best comedic actors. Him and Tim Conway together are just super funny. I know a lot of people will say him and the guy from the Carol Burnett show. What's his name? Harvey something or other. I'm blanking.
No, I'm not kidding. I don't know.
No, them two together on Carol Burnett, they're hilarious. But Don Knotts and Andy Griffith's show is just perfect. I mean,
It is. It's perfect. It just doesn't.
The skits hold up, and Barney's character is just so lovable, and Andy just plays that show so well. And there is drama in the show. Like there are moments where there is some drama, and it's just a good show. And the way it's shot, being in media and like doing a little bit of television directing too, like the show's just shot in a very artistic way. And so to me, it's my favorite. I think you should add a question to this though.
Okay. What is it?
Add, what's your favorite drink? Because
Mr. Pibb Zero, of course.
Mr. Pibb Zero Sugar. Me, I'm a water connoisseur. So
I have my water right here.
There you go. I'm not a huge soda person.
That's a good question.
But
I'm sorry to Pibb, because obviously my favorite drink is Diet Coke.
Yeah, well,
it's not even close. It's not even close.
But,
there's no comparison.
But for me, I've been on as far as drinks go, because I know you're doing the Mr. Pibb thing, the Diet Coke thing, and the zero sugar and all that.
Yeah.
I don't do the caffeine, but for me, I really, really, really am on a kick of LaCroix right now.
I can't do it.
Oh, it's good. Mm-hmm. If you can get into the pamplemousse, which is a grapefruit.
Yeah.
Pretty tasty. Either that or a mango flavored liquid death.
Okay.
Those are the two. So there you go.
I'll tell you a fun zero sugar diet drink. I've drunk those since I was a kid. Like people probably see me drink that all the time. They're like, oh, he just drinks that because he's fat. No, it's really not. It's actually, I've drunk that my whole life. Just, I never really, the real stuff was always just so sweet. I'm probably going to like break people's minds here, but I really am not a big sweets fan. So I always like, and my grandma, my mom's mom, like drunk Diet Coke like it was air.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, when I say like, I'm not kidding you, that's like what that woman lived on, I think. And so I just naturally, that's what I would drink if I would be there. And so I got to loving it. And that's it. That's that. It has nothing to do with anything.
I think I saw something the other day.
I think it's great.
And it said that you'd have to drink like 1,000 something Diet Cokes a day to overdose on aspartame. So don't worry about it.
I'm pushing it. No, I'm just kidding. There was one time when I was in college and I saw Matt Delosier somewhere. I was in his office and he's like, "You want Diet Coke?" And I was like, "Yeah." And my buddy that was with me was like, "He's already drunk like 12 of those today." And he's like, slow down. I was like, probably should.
Oh,
so, all right, David. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Happy to be on the show. Bring me back anytime you want to. Absolutely. We'll talk racing or small towns or relive some glory days from the Pisgah days that have gone past. So we'll do it all.
Sounds good, man. Well, we'll talk soon, okay? Take care.
You too, Craig.
Right, bye. Hey, y'all. I'm Craig Messer, local realtor with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Heritage out here in beautiful Haywood County, North Carolina. We've got 2 offices to serve you, one in Maggie Valley and one in Canton. If you are looking to buy or sell, this is the perfect time to do so, and Western North Carolina is the greatest place that you can do it. Western North Carolina is what we like to call God's country. We've got beautiful mountains, beautiful valleys, beautiful rivers, great people, great downtown scenes, great schools, some of the greatest rivalries in all of the Southeast. I'm a local. I was born here and raised here. Went to school here, I go to church here, and now I'm raising my own family here. And I can attest that there's nowhere else that I would rather be. And if you're looking to buy or sell, reach out to me and let's start this journey together. Whether you want to be up on the mountaintop or down here in the valley, we can find a place for you.